Jeff Grubb, hello.
Jess, what am I looking at here?
Well, looking at Escape Academy. Have you done any escape rooms, may I ask?
I've not done any escape rooms is the answer to that question. I played an early VR game, which was clearly a VR take on escape rooms. And it was very cool because it was like the room size VR game. So you would like open a door and then kind of be walking around in a circle, but then the room would change every time you go through something. It was fantastic.
Yes.
And so I got really excited about the concept of that. And then I've been looking at maybe doing an escape room eventually. So I'm curious, and I wonder how much this game is going to capture all that stuff for you.
Exactly. I really like the Room series, and those are great because it is really so fantastical. There's so many weird things that happen in it.
Yes.
And things you can't do in a normal escape room. It's so funny. I feel like we've come like full circle because escape rooms are basically live video games.
Yes.
You know? And now we're going back and we're re-video gaming the live version of these things.
It's the right thing to do. Just keep going in circle and forever because I want to see how weird these things can get.
Mm-hmm. So, I mean, you've never been to a real escape room before, but there's definitely, I want to say 3 genres of escape room. There's this genre, the escape shack, where the employees don't give a shit. It's falling apart. It's decrepit. They don't care. Begin your escape room journey, whatever. You know. Here's the waiver, and this is cute. This is a cute joke. All escape rooms have waivers that say, "Hey, you hurt yourself. That's your bad, buddy. We tried real hard to baby-proof this room, and you figured out a way to eat something or find a sharp thing and slit your wrists with it somehow. Holy shit! Don't do this." Half my job was just memorizing a waiver and shouting it at people because I used to work at an escape room for 2-3 years there. Longest I ever held a job, actually.
Oh, very fun.
Because no one likes me. But it's just telling you how to do this stuff.
I was going to say, that's about as long as I've ever had a job, too.
Okay,
2
perfect.
Years, so.
I feel like people are like, wow, that's not long enough.
Of my dozens of jobs, yes.
So yeah, this is the sad state of a lot of escape rooms. They are just pop-up, drop ceiling bastardizations with just like thumbtacks everywhere, some random props in plations.
It seems fun that they're like capturing that vibe though off the bat here. I feel like that's pretty cool. That's
super funny. And I was hoping more of the game would be kind of like ribbing on bad escape rooms and how much better they could be.
Sure.
This one is kind of like the tutorial and the outlier.
Right. You're going to stop. I figured you're probably going to start with this and then it's probably going to get pretty fantastical, I would guess.
My hope was that it would go even harder. It does go a little hard at the end, but I feel like it goes like medium, fantastical to me. That's, I gotta say, I'm really, really, really biased, though. We can only afford one treasure chest. Use your imagination on this one. Literally, I've been in escape rooms that have had these notes where it's just like, it's broken. Pretend this clock says 12:30. That's real. Like, that's the real shit right there.
That's fantastic.
It's very funny. We got a safe over here with, random. We stopped at F and then went to QRS for some reason. Letters on it.
The lazy alphabet, right? Yes.
Yeah, I love this. How loosely themed this is. I love how there's a drip in the ceiling. Like, how funny is this? Oh my god. So yeah, simple. Like, if you can look, you can never leave. At last, you've uncovered our secret society. As the clock tolls for your death, to know our secret, open your mind and unlock the all-powerful key of truth. Look at clock to open. It's
yes, exactly.
Baby stuff, right? So it says 12:30. You put it in here. If you've ever played a video game, you will be good at escape rooms. That was something that I used to tell people before they went into the escape rooms.
Oh, fun. Okay.
Like, hey, you ever play a video game? Okay, you're good. I don't have to tell you what to do or what not to do. You have functioning brains.
Right. It seems all very video game designer ideas for progressing. It makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, it's a live action, version of a video game. You can also get hints with X. Hint, these goblins spell a word. No shit. This is the easy one. You can also, I also appreciate that there's a very obvious sequence break in this particular really crappy escape room. If you get 2 of those goblets, you can guess what the third thing is because you only one of them repeats, and it's FREE. If you get FR and you know the next one is repeating, it's like the word is free. Also, you can always try this particular code in any 4-letter lock, and it might work in an escape room. It's the laziest code. Also, the word lock can go in in a lock. Mm-hmm. And yeah, I like that the key of truth is just a fucking regular key.
So it kind of should be. This is what this game should be doing, though, right? Is vibing, riffing on what a real escape room feels like. Because otherwise, you're right. It would just be a puzzle game. Mm-hmm. Like otherwise, that's what it's doing.
Shout out to this exposed socket. That's very authentic. very unsafe. I've been in a lot of fire trap escape rooms. Now I think about it.
Oh, good. Oh, that's fun.
Yeah. They cracked down a couple of years ago, at least in New York, on a bunch of escape rooms. They all closed, and that was because there was a tragic fire in, I think, Denmark or someplace of the sort, where teen's birthday party.
Oh no, that's
freaking
terrible.
Had a big old accident, and the person in charge was not trained, did not know how to get them out of the room because there was only one exit that was actually really locked.
Oh right, of course, that's terrible.
I don't like any escape room that physically locks you in the room. You really don't have to. You can give someone a story, and they'll do it.
Yes, everyone's buying into the fantasy anyhow. Just let them. Yes, that makes the most sense for sure.
Yeah, right. Okay, I'm gonna write down this. This is clearly a code.
Right.
You know.
Up, down, up, right.
I'm bad at memorizing things when I'm recording something, and we've got a TV over here. Let's inspect it closer. Oh no, it just goes back here. How strange. But whatever. Yeah, there we go. Just press that in there. Doot. Got some weird stuff here. And you know, this happens in escape rooms all the time. Sometimes you get something and you don't know what it is yet.
Right.
Look for what explains what it is. Don't just sit there and try to like brute force something in a way that's like, you are wasting all your time, because escape rooms are usually timed. Usually an hour, sometimes less. And I've seen people just waste their whole time trying to figure out something like this without the thing that just tells you, hey, W is this, R is this.
Okay.
You know, there's always something, unless you're in a really unfair escape room.
Yeah, I mean, these are designed by people who want you to solve it, right? Like, they want you to be able to figure it out, so...
Unless it's one of those places, here's a fun red flag to look out for if you're looking for an escape room adventure. Unless it's one of those places that boasts having a very low escape rate. Like,
oh, of course, right.
Only 5% of people ever escape this room. And it's like, hey, that means your escape room fucking sucks, dude.
Yeah, it's a terrible level in Super Mario Maker that is impossible to beat. Exactly, yeah.
No shit, you made a bad escape room, buddy. It's hard. It's too hard. It's stupid. So we got some little business cards here. They're actually foreshadowing a lot of pretty much all the characters we're going to meet later on. So that's cute. And yeah, there's nobody working here. What's going on? How mysterious.
Now I've been to Meow Wolf in Santa Fe.
I'm so jealous. I want to go there so bad.
It was really great. There was no like puzzles, but it is very exploratory. I guess there are like passive puzzles. It's not escape room puzzles. It's just like there are storylines strung throughout, and you could piece stuff together if you so choose. Mm-hmm. Is there like a meta story in any of these escape rooms, or is there a meta story here, or is it just like this escape room thing?
There is a meta story that is like a little too straightforward for me, honestly. And I love that you mentioned Meow Wolf, because Meow Wolf was one of like the escape room I worked at, like a major inspiration for our stuff.
Oh, okay.
And it made us really like a lot more special than like, I personally have never done an escape room better than the ones I worked at. Like, I'm very, very biased about this.
I believe you though.
But yeah, we've got this. This is the thing that you translate from. So, you know.
Right. Okay, there we go.
No problem. You can also tell from like how long these particular this is going to go to these cards, basically. You can tell how long this is going to be based on how many letters are in each word. Like, there's only 2 names that have 3 letters.
Right.
So it's like we have 2 of those to work with. We have WRO and RRY, and it's like, oh, that's probably eel, because there's 2 letters that go. You know, you could brute force this without even looking at this, if you're smart. But let's inspect. And yeah, we got a hint from that TV that was just like 1, 2, 3, and that was RWO, which translates to Jeb.
Okay.
You can also, I like this. You can pin
Oh, that's nice.
To your thing, so you can like.
I mean, I wish more games had that, like just that concept of like pinning something I picked up to the screen as I'm looking around. That'd be fantastic.
I really, really do like that. It's really handy for like, because there's a lot of escape room games where like you really want to have your thing that you're looking at in view. And like, I also played a lot of Escape Simulator over the weekend to kind of have a comparison point. And Escape Simulator has a lot more like interactivity points. Like you can move every piece of furniture, like a real ass escape room. Cool. This is a little more video gamey and a little more limiting because there are just certain things you can interact with or not. But that also removes a lot of frustration because a lot of people really go crazy just moving all the furniture and it doesn't mean anything, and you know.
So you played through this once before. Are all these puzzles exactly the same?
Unfortunately, yes. I did kind of wish that there was more of a replayability aspect to it.
Right.
Because there are a lot of things where you could just swap out the puzzle solutions for a different puzzle solution. You know, like you could change what's on this screen, but have the same cipher, or have a different cipher, but the same screen, and they'd be different words.
Exactly.
And that's, you know, in real escape rooms, it's hard to change puzzles like that because they're physical, real props. But this is all, you know, bits and boops and ones and zeros. You can change you can change what that thing says.
I'll say I was expecting you to say yes, that these things are slightly different. Just it felt like kind of a table stakes for a game like this. That's kind of a shame.
Yeah, I know. I was kind of expecting it to do something like that, and I did replay a bunch of them being like, "Oh, I bet this changes," and it's like, no. If you just know the code for something, you just rush over there and do it, which is kind of silly. But it's a secret. Oh, we're going in the secret bathroom stall. Woo! You know, that's not exactly.
I'll say that's cheesy, but I still love it. I still love it.
It's cheesy. It's funny, but also it's like I've seen it happen like in real escape rooms, so it doesn't wow me that much. Again, I admit how extremely spoiled I am. Stupidly spoiled.
I'm like, oh man, the stall opens and there's a staircase. That's fun.
But like, it's more fun if it's real. Like if that happened in a real escape room, I'd be like, okay.
And that is the kind of stuff that I did get to experience with Meow Wolf, opening up the opening up the dryer, and it's a slide to another part of the exhibit you were already in. And I'm like, oh my god, this is so much fun.
I love that shit. We did stuff like that at our escape room. We had like a ball pit that you can go in and look for like skeleton bones that are part of a clue and stuff like that. It was so cool. If anybody wants to go to that escape room, it is in Champaign-Urbana, Illinois. It's called CU Adventures in Time and Space. Big mouthful, sorry.
Did Dave Lang ever show up there with his crew?
I don't think so. Not to my knowledge, or at least not when I worked there.
Okay.
But
that's a good thing for you. I'm happy that didn't happen to you.
I don't trust him because he's too tall. He's gonna touch all the things. He's gonna
break stuff. Yeah.
He's gonna break things. Tall men are the worst people in escape rooms. I'm sorry. It's true.
I've always said this.
It's true. They love reaching up high, even though we tell you, like, hey, dogs, we keep wires up there. You don't need to reach real high. They be doing it. The guys that look like this, don't trust them in escape rooms. But yeah, it turns out there was a real secret society, and we've been recruited to go to the Escape Academy. By the way, I should have mentioned this off the top that I'm just going to be playing through what's essentially the demo. There was a demo for this game that included that room and the one that we are about to do.
Very cool.
So I'm not going to go past that for spoiler reasons, because yeah, like I said, they don't change the codes for any of these things per room. So here's our rival.
Okay.
Basically, like there are characters in this game. There's a slight visual novel aspect to it that I wish went a little harder. Like I wish you could date these people. I wish you could have free time events with them and get to know them.
Give them presents. Build up a relationship.
Oh. Do I love giving presents to people in video games? Holy crap. Let me give everyone presents. So, we're going to be a prospective student here. The room is slowly filling up with a memory erasing gas, a way to maintain our secrecy if we fail the test. So, we got 15 minutes until lights out. So, I would say that the main difference between this and a regular good escape room, because these are all good, like they're decent.
Sure.
They're decent puzzles. They're okay. The main difference is that you can't do this in an escape room. You can't pump memory gas into an escape room.
Right.
However, you can just tell people, like, in 30 minutes, you lose because there's a memory erasing gas in the escape room. Hey, key.
Does having the video game stakes of game over or whatever increase the drama or whatever for you?
Well, like, the thing is that, you know, being timed for any reason is stressful. You don't really have to have real stakes. And I noticed that with just, you know, running escape rooms, and I also made props for the escape rooms too, that what really matters is that people are just buying into the stake. Like, it doesn't, like, even like a game over is kind of like, when you think about it, not a real stake. You know, you're not personally affected by getting a game over. You just have to do something over again, right?
Right.
So I feel like I wish there was like a timer-free mode just so you could mosey around a bit. You know.
Right.
Pariahs. It's been so long since we were last together.
I thought that this would, like, this pariahs angle would come back and have more to do with the plot. Like, it feels like the beginning of this game plot-wise is a lot more interesting than what actually ends up happening, personally. You only meet 2 of these people, I think, during this thing.
I'll tell you what I expect the story should be from here. It's like, okay, you're going to the Escape Academy and you're gonna do escape rooms they set up for you, see if you're a valuable asset, but eventually you're going to discover that they're actually the bad guys, and you'll have to escape real world circumstances and like actually like break into their stuff to uncover the real plot. And then, you know, you end up in some place like, oh, the headmaster's room while they're, you know, about to come there, and you got 10 minutes and you have to escape out of it or something like that. That's what I would expect that's where I would expect this game to go. Is it anything like that?
That's a little bit better than what happens, in my opinion. I don't know. There's like an imposter situation, and it's very clear who the bad guy is, and everybody's like, what could be happening? And it's like, my guys, that guy looking shifty over there, okay? Like, as soon as I saw that guy, I was like, oh, he's bad. Like,
it's the fake NWO sting. Right.
Yeah, right? It's like one of those things. It's like, okay, well, I'm counting on you. Whatever could it mean? What do you think that means, Mr. Jeff Grubb?
I've only been half paying attention to these clues, but I'm guessing we're gonna have to count to those objects of some sort. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, so I see 3 trophies.
Yes.
And that's where's the trophy in the order over there? Is it the first thing? So...
There's also a thing that if you don't feel like counting, it's like, oh, a receipt for 2 clocks. So
oh wow, okay, yes.
So we have 2 of those, and we can brute force the third. Fun fact, you can brute force any lock as long as you have everything but the last digit. And as long as it doesn't tell you to rearrange the numbers and letters at the last point. So yeah, 2 clocks, 3 trophies, and we just got to guess the middle number.
All right.
2 clocks, 3 trophies down here. And yeah, just boop, 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 5.
There we go.
Now we got some pictures that are dated and have very clear references to locations. So there's that. By the way, the thing we were trying to do is guess this, the headmaster's name. And there's an ATM that just says name connected to the door. It's like, okay.
Oh yeah.
And what's funny is that, like, you know, this is supposed to be like, you know, the real escape room. The first one you did was a joke, but it's like, yo, this ATM says name on it. And that's really funny to me. And it's also funny is that, like, none of these PhDs on the wall have her name on it, which is also, I think, like a really funny thing that you would run into in a real escape room where it's like, oh, how convenient. This thing that always has your name on it. There's no name in here. So the screws of this vent are loose. It's classic.
Gotta say, I'm very excited about any time I can open up a vent. That was one of those things that was in the that VR escape room thing I did, and you actually had to get down and physically crawl through the vent. And it was like a small little U-turn, but then I would stand up and it was in another place, and it was so affecting. Like, it worked so well. It's
so good. Sometimes you'll see these things in real escape rooms. Unfortunately, they're not for the non-able-bodied, so that can be kind of a sad thing. Sometimes we got like people in wheelchairs calling us and being like, "Is this room handicap accessible?" And it's like, we only have one room that doesn't have a small set of stairs or something to crawl through. Sorry. Yeah. There's the headmaster doing what was basically my job, sitting in front of TVs and judging you. Oh, look, we got
best job in the world.
Oh, it was pretty all right until you got to see the same mistakes happening over and over and over and over and over again. It was mind-boggling. I'm writing down that phone number. Obviously, it's for a phone. I can't believe they had to put a phone icon next to something that's clearly a phone number, but playtesters, be goofballs. But it was
I bet that's for Europeans, because that number is a different length for them, so they might not immediately associate it with a phone.
That's true. It's hard to localize
that
puzzles
would be difficult.
and escape rooms. Something that was funny is that I learned a lot about what other cultures know or don't know about stuff we take for granted.
Right.
For example, school locker locks, the ones that just rotate. Some places don't have locks on their school lockers. They're just lockers. Nobody steals from each other's lockers or something, or they have different locks or something. But yeah, nobody would know how to work those.
How do they protect their weed? I don't get it.
4242.
You've reached Jeb. Oh, wait, Headmaster Solange? Aren't you interviewing the new kid?
Hangs up. Okay, so we know her last name. Oh yeah, we have to look at all these little, just, books with names of countries on it. Wonder what that's for. Well, this is the easy one. This is the first one. I don't mean to be negging it too hard.
That reminds me of the new Michael Bay movie when the guy's a veteran from Afghanistan, and so he had a book on his shelf just called Afghanistan. You did it again, Michael Bay.
How would you know otherwise?
I'm like, oh my god, that ambulance movie. It's all right.
Oh man. There's also, this is a classic thing in an escape room too. And also, I love this little detail that there's some wear and tear on the floor.
Right.
This is a constant struggle at real escape rooms, trying to disguise natural wear and tear. And if you're in a bad escape room, you can just go up to a number pad or a
and
lock.
look for the worn off numbers and stuff, right? Yeah.
All the oils from your fingers wear things off so fast. These books where you'd have to pull, Egypt, Japan, Greece, those would have more wear and tear than the other books. That was one of my jobs, was to constantly zhuzh up and fix and repair these little wear and tears. It was just a constant struggle. It's constant.
Damn entropy.
But look, one of the bulbs is broken. My God. Also, a good tactic in general when you're doing an escape room, just stick to the walls and go counterclockwise or clockwise around a room, and just take inventory of all the stuff you got.
Okay, yeah. I mean, the what is that? The a labyrinth strategy. Just put your hand on the wall and just kind of walk around.
Exactly. Oh, that fox mask looks familiar. It's one of these right here.
Huh.
I mean, you can also tell from her hair. Her hair is significantly different than any of the other people. And you met her earlier. She had big, floofy, pink, purple hair. So Sandy is who she is.
Sandy Solange.
Sandy Solange. I wish you could crouch in this game. They don't let you crouch.
That's weird.
You crouch when you
So
need
when you
to.
went through okay, so it just auto crouched you when you went through the vent? Mm-hmm. Okay.
That's that. And you can inspect stuff, but you don't pick it up unless it's useful.
Is there a zoom in button when you're trying to look at something closer?
No, but if it is important, it will, if it's in your inventory, you can view it. You can't turn it around, though, which I find disappointing, because the video game series The Room has the ability to not just turn things around, but you fiddle with things all the time in your inventory.
That's that entire game, right?
Yeah,
it's
absolutely.
looking for the small little thing on the bottom of a thing.
Oh,
yeah.
And I love doing that.
Man, now I love The Room.
Oh, The Room is so good. And there's 3 of them. They're so good. Yeah. The VR one is so good. I gotta finish it. Anyway, dead. Gee, that corresponds to the notes on a piano. Which, thankfully are labeled. They have to be. Nobody knows the notes on a piano. If you're in an escape room and there's a piano and they're not labeled in some way, they don't expect you to play the piano. Unless they are the meanest people alive. My God. I did a really unfair escape room where there was letters and on the keyboard, and you had to play do 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 do, and we were like, okay, nothing happened. Okay, what? There was a 5-letter lock nearby, and the code was bride. And it's like,
oh my God.
dog, that's not fair. There are so many cultures that do not know that fucking song. Like, that sucks. I learned that Asian countries don't know what a gargoyle is.
Huh.
Yeah, gargoyles. That's a medieval European thing. Of course they wouldn't know what a fucking gargoyle is.
I guess so, right? I bet they have their own versions of that. That's like a completely different backstory, whatever. Let me ask, if your escape room did have you play the piano, is there an actual physical mechanism, or are you on the cameras being like, all right, they did it, now I hit the button to open the door?
Oh, that's a fun question. It depends on the place. Some places do have like physical contraptions that are connected to those things that make them go. However, those break. So there is...
Yeah, exactly. That's what I would think. Yeah.
Even if it did used to work, it might not work anymore.
Right.
So they're usually, if it's a decent escape room, they will have like fail safes and buttons that you can press to, circumvent that happening. We had buttons for heckin' everything.
Right, of course.
Sandra. So her name
Close
is...
enough.
So it's like Sandy. Some people don't know that Sandra is short for Sandy. I saw on like the discussion page for this game that like somebody was like, it says Sandra, but it was Sandy. Is this a glitch? I don't know. It's like, sorry, that's just a nickname. Shrek. Yeah, there you go. There you go.
Sandra Shrek.
Sandra Shrek. Jackie Sandra Shrek.
I'm an onion.
This escape room's got layers. So something I found kind of interesting, kind of weird, is that like you have to do pretty shitty to get under an A.
Okay.
Like, I mean, I have like a really decent amount of experience with escape rooms, right? So I was able to get out of them. I never saw what happened when you fail. But I'm also not opposed to getting a hint if I'm like, I'm stuck. I clearly missed something. There's something in some corner of the room I didn't notice. And that was like almost all of the clues I took. Oh, my alarm's going off. Whoops. That was almost all the clues, the hints that I took were based on like, oh, there's a thing in the corner you didn't see, which is fine.
Right.
That's going to happen if you're playing an escape room alone. If you play with friends, you are less likely to miss those things. More brains, more better. I really do like that they review the puzzles, because basically that's one of the duties of the game master is to go in at the end and be like, hey, you won, or hey, you lost, and explain where you got caught up. And be like, do you have any questions? And people will be like, hey, I opened that, but I don't know why it worked. And then you explain like, oh, you find this here, it goes here, you get that.
Cool.
And I do like that they explain that. They don't do that for Escape Simulator. Doesn't have this.
Yeah, this is neat.
Okay, here's the context. The world's premier training ground for escapists is where we're at. They go on to become spies, hackers, thieves, even presidents. So when she says spies, hackers, and thieves, I'm like, oh, so are we the bad guys? It's kind of like a cool bad guy thing, and like I'm down with that. But there's also like some sort of like anti-escapologist like faction that are science-minded.
Okay.
Which is weird because like escape room stuff is a lot of science and engineering and stuff like that. So it's kind of like a disconnect for me on like, who's the bad guy? What are the stakes?
Right.
And
also,
weird.
They said presidents, so do you ever end up in the Oval Office in this game?
No, which is weird because
that's a missed opportunity.
There are a lot of Oval Office escape rooms.
Right.
To the academy.
I got a badge. It goes in here. Very nice.
I've seen National Treasure. I know that that's basically just one big escape room of a movie.
Oops, 2 mouses. What are you gonna do? So, look, it's my dorm. I can see myself. I wish you could change how you look here, but you can't. You can just pet yourself.
I was gonna ask. Right, like you do.
Pet your damn self.
Good boy.
Good boy. Good escaper. You did a good job. You're so smart. Yep, here's your progress. As you can probably surmise from the size of this, there is 12 escape rooms in this game. And
you just keep that in an old pizza box just for the hell of it?
It does look like a pizza box. Damn it, I didn't realize. But yeah, there's 12 escape rooms and like one kind of mini escape room that's really just one puzzle. And it's my least favorite puzzle genre. It is a Tower of Hanoi, which is, if you don't know...
I don't.
It's, how do I explain it? It's like, you have like 3 dowels, 3 wooden dowels or something like that. And there's like 5 donuts on one dowel, and you have to transfer them all to the last one without like changing the order of them.
I've seen that on like TikTok or something like
yeah,
that.
it's that kind of genre of thing. There's different ways to, spice it up presentation wise. It's not literally that. It's like more like, oh, you have to charge a battery with these 2 batteries with the correct amount of charge. And it's just like, oh, fucking hell. And it's one of those puzzles where it's like, if you know the gimmick, it's really easy.
Right.
If you forget the gimmick, you're just there fiddling around for literally 10 minutes I spent on this one puzzle before I was like, fuck, tell me how to do it. I forgot because I hate these.
Can I ask, well, have you played the Professor Layton games?
Oh, yes. Yes, I have. I have a love-hate relationship with those games.
Okay, yeah. You could, like, what is your preference for, like, how you would present, like, small little puzzles like these? Does this like work for you, or would you rather have it like, you just go up, talk to a person, they're going to give you one specific puzzle and you move on to the next one?
I do like that you can do that in Professor Layton, where it's just like, I'm coming back to this later. I hate Sokoban puzzles or whatever, which is the ones where you push a box around to get to a certain spot,
yeah,
right?
Of course, yeah.
Or what have you. I do like that format. However, the thing I love the most about Professor Layton games is that they're fucking wild. Their plots are batshit.
Yes.
They are so fucking crazy. And I love that. And I wanted that in this.
Right.
Like, I really wanted something wild and crazy instead of just like, well, we're on a campus and like, you got to get good at escaping for some sort of reason. I don't know. It's just like a little bit of a disconnect for me. The characters are not that interesting to me, personally. And the only real thing that you do in this game that you can't do in real life, in a real life escape room, is have real danger in the escape room.
Right.
There's one where the water level is rising and you're going to drown if you don't beat it to the next level.
I mean, they want players to beat it, so it's just like a real escape room. So it's basically the same thing, right? Like, it's
the same thing, except you can't drown your guests at the escape room or threaten them to be drowned. Like you can just pretend like, oh, in 30 minutes the gas is gonna come and kill you or whatever, or the bad guy is going to launch a nuke in 30 minutes. Like, there's no real nuke, or obviously. But in this one, it's like, oh, we're gonna blow up the quad unless you do this goofy thing. Oh, look, it's one of the teachers who's a little one of those things you watch Bill Nye the Science Guy on in 5th grade.
Yeah, the TV stand, the CRT on top and the VCR on the bottom. Yep, that's classic.
It's beautiful. My purpose will be fulfilled when the Academy is outputting escapists at the highest quality. Cool.
I want to date the TV.
Yeah, just put him in your inventory. Just carry him away. What can he do about it? Nothing. He can't do nothing about it. So I don't know. Unless we want to do another room, I think that's the look. I think that's about right. I mean, I get the idea. I kind of got how you're feeling about it. But I mean, overall, like, you had a lot of like things where like, it could be a little bit better. But if you were coming into it fresh, maybe if you didn't have your perspective of escape rooms, do you think the normal person's going to come in and feel like, oh, if I want to have an escape room experience, at home, does this capture it enough for you? I think so. I feel like it's good enough. The thing is that like, I beat this game in about 5 hours. That might be because I've just done a lot of escape rooms and know the format and stuff like that. And it's 12 and a half-ish rooms for 5 hours. It's not too shabby, I guess. I could not find the price of this thing for the life of me. It comes out when we're posting this. It should be out by now. I do not know how much it costs, so I can't tell you if that's...
Yeah, I looked on Steam and I just see the demo and I don't see the thing itself. Yeah.
So like per escape room, I can't tell you how much that is for dollar value, but I will tell you it's way cheaper than going to a real escape room. So if you want to practice escape rooms, check this shit out. This is cute. This is fun. It's pretty. The last level is pretty cool, actually. It has a pretty good last level, but I will criticize that the lead up to the end didn't feel right to me. It felt like I was supposed to do more stuff. It felt like there was going to be another semester after this first semester.
Right.
And I think that's like a sequel hook type thing. I think there's going to be a sequel and it's going to be, winter semester, we go through the semesters, we don't do the years rather. So we're doing year 1.
All right, on Xbox, $19.99.
$19.99. That's worth. A real escape room is like, depending on what city you're in, the lowest like $20.
Right.
So like this is worth it for sure. I don't know too much about the co-op. I know that there is co-op in this because I can tell from the menu. Local multiplayer and online mode. Haven't played around with that. I saw some reviews on the discussion page saying that the multiplayer co-op was a little confusing because it was like a split screen situation, which was a little jarring. And as far as like, I don't know if there's voice chat or anything like that. I also looked up colorblind mode, which is just they put labels on the colors like orange, purple, red, blue. It's like,
Right.
okay.
Okay.
And most of those color-based puzzles are just color mixing puzzles, and it's like, oh, red and blue make purple. And I don't know because I'm not colorblind. Do colorblind people know that all the time, that red and blue make purple? They're just told that, and they just have to trust that that's what it does, right? I don't know.
I'm not an expert on colorblindness, but I would expect that depending on the colorblindness that you have, you know in some circumstances that is how it works. I mean, you'd be able to see it. I mean, obviously they know that, but like, would they be able to see it? I think sometimes, but not in every situation. So
I just think there's better ways to do a colorblind mode. You can do it with shapes or sizes instead of colors, you
Right.
know, and I feel like just labeling it is a little bit of like a catch-all, you know? 'Cause
Yeah.
there's a lot of different forms of color blindness too.
Yes,
so
there
it's
are,
like,
yes.
it's difficult. And there's a couple of different language options, but there is one level that does have a puzzle that is in a different language.
Huh.
And you have to translate it. And I was like, oh, does that mean if you play it in that language, is that one different? The way to get out of that is don't support that language. So I thought like, oh, if this puzzle's in Russian, maybe the Russian version of the thing, it's in Spanish or something, but there is no Russian version. So I'll never know.
Oh, okay.
I'll never know.
Huh. Interesting. All right, fair enough.
But yeah, as far as bang for your buck goes, it's okay. It's not as much bang for your buck as Escape Simulator, which has 23 rooms plus DLC plus community things. So basically an infinite amount of rooms of varying quality. You're going to get varying quality when it's community built rooms, and a lot more robust interaction between you and the rooms. You can move stuff, you can rotate things, stuff like that. This is a bit more linear just because of the lack of interactability. But if you just want to really like an introductory experience to escape rooms, this is a pretty good one to go for. It doesn't get too complicated.
I think I'm going to check it out.
Yeah.
Because of that. Because I've not really done one before. I think I would like to maybe do this by myself so that I can kind of be like prepare myself if I like want to take my family or something.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Escape rooms are great. Bring your friends to escape rooms. Go to the enthusiast sites. Don't go to Yelp. Don't go to Google.
Okay.
Everyone ranks something 5 if they had fun,
Right.
even if they don't know if it's like good or not, you know? So go to the
Yeah, that's
enthusiast
how I would
websites.
do it. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. Okay, cool. Good to know.
But yeah, thanks for watching. Check it out. It's on a lot of things. It's on PC, PS4/5, Xbox One Series, and Series XX. So, check it out. Out now.
Thanks, Jess.
Of course. Thank you. And sorry I'm very spoiled.